Hi, this is FT Bletas, author of Cooking Economy, and on this video I'm going to talk to you about some foods you can have in your house in case of emergency. And some people are going to tell me I'm a doomsayer or something like that, and I really don't care because I think that we live in years that are really unpredictable and we never know what happens in front of us, but the whole idea is to hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Thank you.
Number one, beans and legumes. They're very nutritious. They have lots of important nutrients inside, like proteins and complex carbohydrates. And there are many different kinds of beans you can have. These are the black eye beans, the big ones. You can have chickpeas, lentils, whatever you choose, whatever you like the most. I believe that lentils are the best ones because they are easy to cook, they cook fast, you can store them for a long time, and also you can sprout them and eat them raw as salad, which is very high and lots of important nutrients such as vitamins and enzymes. So beans and legumes, healthy, nutritious, and easy to store for a long time. They're also cheap. Number two, whole grains. I love whole grains. They are nutritious, they are healthy, and they're easy to store for a long time. If you store them well, you can even have them around for a long time, especially wheat. Whole wheat is very healthy. It has lots of nutrients. It has all the important proteins and vitamins of B vitamins. And it's a very good thing to have around, even better than flour, because flour doesn't have all these nutrients. If you have the whole beans, you can store them for a longer time. And what else? You can sprout them. You can sprout them and have them produce for you live food, which means food with enzymes and vitamins, and eat them raw. So grains, whole grains, a very good thing to have around. Next one is pasta. Pasta is great. Pasta is versatile, and there are many different recipes you can cook, and there are many different styles and varieties you can choose from. Pastas are easy to do, easy to cook, and lots of people love them. They have lots of energy, and they can really and easily keep you going. They're cheap, and you can never get bored of them. Pasta is great, everybody loves pasta, and it's a good thing to have around. Rice is another good thing to have around. It's cheap, it's a high energy value, and it's quite versatile, and you can even store it for a long time, longer than other kinds of food. And there are many rice varieties, and you can even buy big bags that are quite cheap. And if you count the calories that they have inside, it's a really good investment of your money. Rice, lots of people live on rice, so it's a good thing to keep around, and be sure that you can have it in different styles and varieties. Rice and pasta and whole grains are great, but it's also good to have around some ready-to-eat cereals or grains, because it might sometimes be difficult to cook them if you don't have electricity or some other means. So it's always good to have around some kind of breakfast cereals or oats or something else that you can eat on the spot. Something else that you can eat on the spot are breads and biscuits. These are again whole grains that are processed in a way that you can eat them right on the spot. My favorite kind of bread is like the sprouted bread from whole wheat, from organic sprouted wheat, that you can store them for quite a long time and in the freezer for a long time. Cans. Cans are important and very, very useful emergency food to have around. There are many different styles, and you can have vegetables and fish and meat. And the more you have and the more variety you have, the better. I prefer the fish because they have omega 3s and they're healthy and they are also tasty as well. You can have some meat, and you can also have some ready to eat meals in cans. Don't forget some beans in cans, and don't forget some vegetables. So the biggest the variety, the better. Another good thing is that you can buy a big box with lots of them in a really good price. Don't forget to buy some vegetables as well, some mushrooms and some corn, some tomato or mixed vegetables. Another good idea that will save you money is to buy big cans. The big cans are good because they're quite inexpensive, but on the other hand, the downside is that when you open them, you have to eat them right away or in a day or two. So they're good only if you have lots of people and you're gonna make a big meal. And talking about cans, don't forget some canned fruits. It's a very good idea to have them because if something bad happens, it might be hard to have access to fresh fruit. Of course, canned fruit are not as full of vitamins as the fresh ones, but they have the fiber and they have some of the vitamins, and they're also great dessert to have around. Oils are a very important food to have. They are easy to store. They are very nutrient dense. They have lots of calories. They're actually plain fat. And for me, the best kind of oil is olive oil. Of course, I'm from Greece. We have the best olive oil in the world, and I believe that it's a good thing to have around. In Greece, it's quite inexpensive to have lots of olive oil, and if you want to store them for storage for a long time, longer than it has on the label, you can put it on the freezer. There are many other kinds of oil that you can store, some corn oil or some soy oil or some other kind of vegetable oil, but I believe that olive oil is the most healthy oil in the world, and it's a good thing to have around. The best, apart from putting it in the freezer, it's also important to have them in metal boxes, because in metal boxes you can store it for a longer time. The whole idea again is to keep them in a dry place away from the sunlight. So get your olive oil, get as much as you can, and get the best quality you can. And that means you might prefer to get some Greek olive oil, that because here in Greece we have lots of olives and olive trees, and it's gonna have all our love as well. So and now because we talk about olives and olive trees, it's also a good idea to have olives around. Olives are nutritious and quite easy to store for a long time as well, especially if you get some can with olive pate, like olive paste. This is a good idea. Another good source of energy and fats, good fats, are nuts. And there's a big variety that you can get. The best thing is to buy the ones that are, packed without any oxygen, so you can store them for a longer time. And a good idea is to store them in the fridge or the freezer. So find your nuts, the ones that you like the most, walnuts or peanuts or pistachio nuts, and store them because they're very nutritious and healthy. Now that we are talking about nuts, it's a good idea to mention these chickpeas. They are cooked chickpeas. They're actually oven baked, and they're ready to eat, and this is a very good snack. And because if you have chickpeas, it's not very easy to eat them on the spot, it's a good idea to have them like that, because you can eat them even if you don't have power. Even better than nuts are seeds, and they're better because seeds can actually sprout them, and you can even make them more easily digestible. And seeds are very much easier to store for a long time. And you can have some pumpkin seeds, some sunflower seeds, some flax seeds that they have lots of omega-3 fatty acids, or some sesame seeds. And now that we talk about sesame seeds, you can have some snacks with nuts or seeds. And my favorite here in Greece, it's the sesame snack. There are sesame bars with honey that are really great and very, very, very nutritious and healthy that you can eat on the spot and give you a good energy lift. Next one, dried fruits. We said that we can have canned fruit. Another good way to have fruits around, if in case you don't have access to fresh fruits, are dried fruit. And my favorite are resins from grapes because they're quite cheap and they are very, very healthy. Prunes is also a good idea. And here in Greece we have great figs. Figs are very healthy and nutritious, and if you have a fig tree in September, you know they fall all together. And a good way to store them is to dry them and place them in an airtight container. Figs are great, very nutritious, very healthy, and very tasty. Next one, veggie jars. It's another way to have vegetables, any kind of vegetables like sauces. But here I have, you see, tomatoes and sun-dried tomatoes that are placed in olive and they are inside jars. But there are also some tomato sauces that you can have with your pasta, or if they're plain, you can use them to make some pasta sauce. Herbs and spices, very important to have them around, have a big variety because they're very nutritious. They have lots of important vitamins and minerals that we need, and it's good to add them in our food. But they're also a way to make our food taste better and enjoy it. And you can have a big variety of different ones, and or make sure you have chili, some pepper, some salt. To have some chili sauce, some dried herbs, some dried garlic, dried onion, parsley, dill, some curry powders, whatever you like the most. You can store them for a long time, keep them away from dry places, and make sure you keep some oregano, and if it's Greek oregano, even better. So spices and herbs, very good thing to have around. A good alternative to spices, if you want to make something taste better, it's to have some flavorings. Ready to use flavorings are some cubes or some spice and herb mix. And these are good ideas because you can have them around, you can use them in many different ways. And if you are one of those people you don't want to really mess with different spices and herbs, you can have these ones that are quite guaranteed a result. You can also have some soups and some ready sauces and different kind. I don't know, the supermarket's full of this. Choose ones that they have a long life. And another way to make things taste better, one of my favorites is mustard, and you can have different kinds of mustard to add to your food. Next one is tahini, very healthy, very nutritious. I think this should be after the nuts and the seeds because it's actually sesame seed that it's made as a pulp, and you can actually use it spread it in some bread or add them in some kinds of food. Though it's very healthy, very nutritious, has protein, lots of good fats, and it's a good thing to have around because you can keep it for quite a long time. It's an alternative fat source that it's good to have around. The more the better, and you can store it for quite a long time. Next, honey, my favorite honey, the best sweetener you can have. Honey, it's much better than sugar because you can store it for a long time. Really, honey, if you store it well in a dry and dark place, you can store it for a long time. You can buy them in jars, but even better is better to buy them in metal boxes because they are airtight, and you can actually store them for I don't know, for 5 or 10 years. Even if after 10 years it loses some of the taste, it's always good to have around. And you know, it's not because I'm Greek, but I really believe that Greek honey is the best. And if you can find Greek honey, make sure you get some of it. Number 18, jams and fruit sweets. Another sweet thing, a good way to store fruit. And this is what they actually used to do a long time ago when they didn't have any fridge or some kind of other way to preserve fresh fruit. They used to make preserves, that's why they're called like that, and jams, and they actually put them in jars, and you can have them for 1 or 2 years or even longer. The way they're made with sugar and a bit of lemon inside, some ascorbic acid, it helps them preserve for long. The next one is very important, salt, and not just for eating and for making the food taste better, because actually we really don't need to eat much salt, but the thing is that we need it. And the best salt you can find, the better. The whole idea is that you can use the salt in other ways. You can use them to preserve food. If you have some fresh fish or meat, you can put them in salt and preserve them for a long time. Next one, vinegar, also very important, not only because you can put them in your salads and in your food and make it taste better, but because you can use it in many ways. I have an article with 60 ways you can use vinegar. You can use it for cleaning purposes. You can use it to keep away some insects, and it's a good thing to have around. And there are many different kinds of vinegar. I like to have plain vinegar for many purposes, but also I like to have good balsamic vinegar and Greek balsamic vinegar. It's a very good idea to have around. That you can use it in many ways, and especially in your salads or when you cook something. Ready-to-eat meals are a very good idea to have around, especially if you can keep them for a long time. These meals are, you know, ready to eat, if there's an emergency, it's good to have things that you can eat straight away, because sometimes you might not be able to cook, might not be able to have power to cook. So if you have some ready meals, it's a good idea. The longer the shelf life, and the longer you can keep them, the better. You can buy good meals that you can store them outside the fridge, and these are the ones I prefer, and I actually work with some company. We've produced some really delicious and healthy ready meals. You can check them out sometimes on my website. Whoa, chocolate. Everybody loves chocolate. That's why you need to have chocolate around. Don't forget this. If there is a bad situation or emergency, it's always to have chocolate to keep everybody happy. And the good thing is that chocolate is very nutritious, and it has cocoa that it's really good for you, and for many ways, in many ways. That's why I prefer personally the chocolate with lots of cocoa, lots of cacao. The more the better. I prefer the ones that are at least 70% cacao, but that's why I also have plain cacao, plain cocoa powder, or whole seeds. and that you can have them to make some drinks or make some sweets. Next one, very important, vitamins. Don't forget your vitamins. This is something very, very important, because if there is an emergency, you might not be able to eat fresh fruits and vegetables, and you might need vitamins. You can have them, you can buy them in bulk, you can store them in the fridge or the freezer for a long time, and it's good to have a big variety: multivitamins, vitamin C, some other superfoods, some green vitamins, some spirulina that I really think it's a great superfood to have around in big quantities. And then, ask your doctor or make your homework and choose what's best for you. Let's go to the next one, juices. Fruit juices, many different kinds. The one you like the more. They're good because you can store them for quite a long time. If you put them in the freezer, even better. And you can actually have some vitamins and get some good source of energy. The best kind of juice is to buy natural juice, 100% fruit juice without any additional sugar, and buy the ones you like, mixed fruits, small ones, big ones, some with vitamins, extra vitamins, and different kinds of fruit. And also you can get some vegetable juices, and the bigger the variety, the better. Very important, water. I left it for the end, but I think is the most important. You have to store water, and you also have to store some water tablets and some filter that you can use if the water is not drinkable. Get some water, get lots of water. It's very important. These are the top 25, but I have a last one at 26. It's wine, that it's optional actually, because it has alcohol that is not very good for you. But if you have some bottles of good wine, you can enjoy it, and you can have some sense of celebration that's going to be very important if things are bad. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I hope this was useful. I hope it was a useful investment of your time. Hope to see you again soon. Please rate this video, write your comments below and your questions, and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Have a great day.